Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Janice Clifton, the owner of Abbey Carpets Unlimited in Napa Valley. Janice, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
I wanted to catch up with you about your business in Napa Valley and also a little bit about the Abbey Conference that was held this week in Las Vegas. First, let's start with your business. We did a best practices on your business in October of 2010. In that story we wrote, we learned that this business has been in Napa since 1979. You bought it in 1985, which was, I guess, around 38 years ago, and have been running it ever since. You have a 12,000 square foot showroom, and all of your salespeople are non-commissioned salespeople. Is that still the case?
That's all the same, yes.
Back then, which was 13 years ago, you were doing TV advertising and some magazine advertising, and the rest was on the internet. How does that break out now?
No TV. We still do print advertising. Actually, we do some local newspapers, and we also do some local magazines still. Everything else is internet, pay-per-click, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
I looked at your website, and it's a pretty nice website, actually. It's got room visualizer. I guess that's part of being part of Abbey. They probably help you with some of that work, don't they?
they do almost everything for their, you can update some things, personalize it. It's available to do a lot of different things, but they take care of it, which is one of the amazing parts of being part of the Abbey system. Quite frankly, that would just overwhelm me to try to do that myself.
You got too many other things to focus on. Yeah, you focus your RSAs, your salespeople, they're consultants since they're non-commissioned, and you position your showroom as a design center, so they give interior design advice and help, right?
They do, yes. And I am just super fortunate to have the staff I have, because if you came in here, you would never know that they didn't need to make a commission to make the sale. They're very proactive, super helpful, but not being on commission means they can help somebody looking for a 6x5 bathroom and somebody looking for 100 square yards of carpet the same. Okay. We're just really fortunate. I don't know how it happened, but it's great, yeah.
So how's business been in the last couple of years?
So last year was down a little bit, not substantially down, but a little bit. This year is taken off crazy. We've been super busy January and February. So I'm thinking it's going to be positive. We're a little insulated because of where we're at in the Napa Valley. Right. So things that might affect other parts of the country might not affect us quite so heavily.
Most of your customers are pretty affluent, and when they want to do something, they go ahead and do it, right?
Yes, they do. They're not as dependent on the interest rate. So,
tell us a little bit about the Abbey meeting was held in Las Vegas this week. Give us a couple of the highlights of that, if you would.
Well, it was great seeing Phil there. He was there. He gave a video message, and I spoke to him several times on the showroom floor where he was out working it. So that was great to see. They had a keynote speaker who did a good job of motivating us to do better, which is usually what they do. They remind us of what we need to do to, make our stores the best. We had several new hardwood suppliers, and for our community, that's huge. We would like to see more and more hardwood suppliers in the core Abbey group.
Do you remember those brands?
Preverico was one of them. Southwind I think they had hardwood and laminate. For us, laminate's a good thing. Other people do a lot more LVT, but in our area, we do more laminate and hardwood.
Drew Hash was at Surfaces launching his new hardwood program, so that's brand new at Southwind.
Right. I was super excited about Preverico just because they're upper end, cleaner, simpler programs. So I was excited about that. Shaw had some new hardwood. Mohawk had some new hardwood.
Well, that makes sense since you focus on the upper end. When we did your best practices 13 years ago, you were 35% carpet. What's your percentage of carpet now, do you think?
Just in my numbers, and we still are 35% carpet. But the significant difference is we're 40% ceramic tile and ceramic tile supplies. So that's 75% of the business in those two categories. And then everything else fills in the 25%.
All right, so you're kind of in a fantasy land living in Napa Valley because, people, that's a vacation place. People go there that love wine and the place they go to vacation. So what's it like to live there every day?
It's a wonderful place to live. It truly is. People complain about the traffic, but our traffic is nothing compared to anybody else's traffic. We have a lot of people that come to visit. beautiful area with the vineyards all around. It doesn't matter where you go, you see somebody you know, a restaurant or grocery store. So it's kind of that small town feeling with the big town things going on, music wise.
Do you have a favorite wine?
I like the Cabernets and the Merlots. And one of my favorite wineries is Stag's Leap Wine Cellars. But there's so many amazing wines here. So many.
Aside from doing the residential normal Abbey sales, do you also do some flooring installations at the wineries?
We do quite a bit. We are actually in the process of two really large jobs at two wineries, but most of the wineries have a lot of concrete. We end up doing the offices and the retail sales areas and that sort of thing. And we do quite a bit with the wineries.
Happy to hear that your business is doing well in 2024. Thanks for spending time with us and talking to our listeners about the Abbey meeting. I've been talking to Janice Clifton, the owner of Abbey Carpets Unlimited in Napa, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorValley.net.